Hey, this is C&D Chow. I'm Chris. This is also Chris, and this is MMA for You. We're going to be doing our predictions for UFC 169, Cruz versus Barao, which happens on February 1st. Doing the show on New Year's Eve, man. What do you think about this card? What do you think about anything MMA 2014, man?
Sure. Happy New Year to everybody. First thing I want to do is give a shout out to Q's Lounge, Rexy, where you at? Don't say I'm not working, because that's exactly what I'm doing right now. So yeah, and then Boiler Room also. That's the sister lounge, and just swing on by and check out the UFC fights.
Cool, man. Cool. Yeah, Super Bowl weekend, man. 2 title fights, champion versus champion. We got a lot of some pretty decent fights going on here, man. Well, why don't we just get started, huh?
Let's do this.
Okay, we got UFC bantamweight champion Dominick Cruz versus UFC interim bantamweight champion Renan Barao. I gotta go with Barao here, man. 31-1 record with 1 no contest. 7 wins by KO or TKO, 14 wins by sub. He's 26 years old, man. 21 fight win streak. What do you know about Barao? Besides what I may have said.
Sure. You mentioned that he's on a 21 fight win streak.
Yeah.
Trains at Nova União. He's, like you said, he's the interim bantamweight champion. Strong Muay Thai. Uses range, good kicks, good knees, strong takedown defense. I think for myself, this is a pretty easy one to pick. Pretty straightforward. Dominick Cruz, he's a good fighter and everything, but he's had a lot of he's got multiple knee surgeries, and I just don't think he's the same caliber of fighter as Renan Barao. Pagano, is it?
Yeah, Pagano, yeah.
So, yeah, I got Renan Barao.
Yeah, man. Barao's in everything. Striking, awesome. Wrestling, both offensively and defense. Offensively, he took down like Michael McDonald, for example. It's not bad. Defensively, he's awesome there. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, also, submitted Pickett and McDonald as well. Outstruck Faber, whatever skill set is out there, Barao's got it. Cruz, 19-1 record. 6 wins by KO or TKO, 1 win by sub, 28 years old. He's on a 10-fight win streak, training out of Alliance. Like you said, he had multiple knee injuries. The guy last fought, I believe, was Demetrius Johnson on October 2011. They rejected the cadaver ACL or something like that, so he had to get another knee surgery on that same knee. So he was out for like 2 years, He's a good wrestler, but once again, you're coming off knee surgery, man. This guy is reliant on unorthodox movement and footwork. Lots of speed and good cardio. You're fighting a tough guy like Barao, and you don't know how your leg is going to do. He does have some good wrestling. He uses this this type of takedown. Is it a knee pick? Or because he does like an over-under type thing. I don't know the name of it. But he uses a very particular type of takedown a lot. Top control is good. His striking's not too bad, but a lot of his style is based upon the movement that he uses. He'll throw like a jab. He'll throw an inside leg kick here and there. I see him through flying knees every once in a while. Nothing too fancy. Nothing that'll really. Excuse me. I guess he makes it look fancy, but nothing that'll knock his opponent out. And anything, his style actually is conducive to breaking your hands. Because he's so off balance when he does strikes and at such weird positions that he can break his hands. Gonna say this too about Cruz. I think he's kind of smoke and mirrors, man. I think that's his style. His superfluous movement, lots of smoke and mirrors. I think Barao takes this pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's pretty easy for me to pick this one.
Mm-hmm.
And like you mentioned, the ring rust is crazy in this particular instance. So, Renan Barao, hands down.
Cool. Next fight after that, we have UFC featherweight champion Jose Aldo versus Ricardo Lamas. Well, Ricardo Lamas has a 13-2 record, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 3 wins by sub. He also has 2 losses by KO or TKO, 31 years old on a 4-fight win streak. He last fought in January 2013. By the time this fight comes around, he will not have fought in a year. He is a good wrestler. His ground and pound's really good. He showed that against Eric Koch. Broke his nose and whatnot pretty much. His Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu solid. He submitted Cub Swanson. Stand-up, good, but not great. What do you know about Jose Aldo, man, and who do you got?
Sure. Jose Aldo, he's coming off of a 16-fight win streak. Trains at Nova União, UFC featherweight champion. Strong Muay Thai, heavy hands, strong leg kicks, strong knees, good defense. Just an all-around awesome fighter. If there's going to be one issue that you want to bring up, it might be the cardio. But even that, he's still pretty strong in that category. So I got Jose Aldo winning this one pretty easily.
Yeah, I got Jose Aldo winning this too. Stylistically, I don't think it's a good matchup for Lamas. Lamas' stand-up still needs some work. It's good, but it's nothing about it. It's solid, but not great. Or Jose Aldo, very good timing, very good leg kicks. Lamas too, he's a good wrestler, but Jose Aldo has really good takedown defense. I just don't think this is a good stylistic matchup for Ricardo Lamas, so I'll go with Jose Aldo to win this one as well. Next fight after that, we got two guys coming off losing streaks, as we have Alistair the Overeem versus Frank Mir. Who do you got, man, and why?
I think this is a good fight, first of all. I'm actually going to switch my pick on this one. I'm going to go with Frank Mir. Despite being on a 3-fight losing streak, he was the former UFC heavyweight champ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, decent wrestling, good stand-up, weak chin. But, there's a lot of question marks around Alistair Overeem, too, and
exactly. A lot of the same ones.
Yeah, a lot of the same ones, right?
Yeah.
And then, also, not being on steroids and juicing,
Actually,
is that both of them?
Frank Mir's on TRT, man.
He's on TRT.
He's on TRT.
For this fight?
I don't know about this fight, but he was on for past 1 or 2 past fights. So yeah, they're both.
So these are both ex-juicers, so.
Oh, possibly current ones. I think Overeem's on TRT as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well then, shit. Okay. So let's just flip a coin. I'm gonna go with Frank Mir. But if Alistair Overeem shows any signs of the brilliance that he had earlier, or even in the K1 fights, then there's no reason why he could not take it.
Yeah, I'm going with Alistair Overeem. I think one thing that should be of note is, despite being on a 2-fight losing streak to Bigfoot and Brown, he was beating Bigfoot for 2 rounds, and then he got knocked down in the 3rd. And against Travis Brown, arguably, he dropped Brown twice. Arguably, Overeem should have got the TKO. So it's not like he's doing bad against the highest level guys. He's doing very well against the highest level guys. But certain things that are very typical of Overeem are his downfall. His cardio. He has a weak cardio and a really weak chin. And similar to Mir, he does kind of crumble under pressure. Once Overeem gets hit, he's just not there anymore. Definitely a bully type. Frank Mir's kind of the same way. Kind of crumbles under pressure. The thing with Overeem, though, Overeem's on a 2-fight losing streak. Frank Mir, 3-fight losing streak. Overeem training at the Bagautinov, former Strikeforce heavyweight champion. He has a strong kickboxing with heavy hands, really good knees. People call them uber knees. And his clinch game. And that's where I think he wins the fight. Just like Josh Barnett. And this is Overeem's game. We saw against Travis Brown. Bullies you against the clinch. Starts unloading with short punches and knees. And just keeps going until either Overeem is super tired and loses pretty much all of his cardio, or the other guy gets KO'd or TKO'd. I think that's what happened. So, I mean, saw Frank Mir against Josh Barnett, against the cage, get kneed, drops to the mat. I see Overeem doing the same thing. I got also Overeem winning this one. Okay, next fight after that, we have this fight could determine the next contender for flyweight, Demetrius Johnson's flyweight title, as John Lineker fights Ali Bagautinov. You know, I'm impressed with both guys, I gotta say. And honestly, I think more people know who Lineker is. But I gotta go with Ali Bagautinov, man. 12-2 record, 5 wins by KO or TKO, 4 wins by sub. 20 years old on a 10-fight win streak. Trains at Fight Night's team along guys like Vitaly Minikov and someone else who's fighting on his card, Gasan Umalatov. Man, these names are hard. He has good boxing. His right hand is really strong. You saw that against the Tim Elliott fight and the Marcus Davina fight as well. He's got a sambo background as well. His takedowns are pretty solid. Who do you got, my man?
I got John Lineker. He's on a 4-fight win streak. He's a brawler. Uses body punches, strong chin, heavy hands, very aggressive, pushes forward. He has had some problems making weight in the past, but I'm not really gonna take that into make that an issue in this particular fight. And so I think John Lineker will have what it takes to beat Mr. Bagautinov, whatever.
Ali, yeah. Lineker, man. I mean, the guy, 4-fight win streak, and I think like all of those within that win streak, they're all KO or TKO wins. And has 11 of his 23 wins are by KO or TKO. And I like his use of body punches as well. This is a really good fight, It's definitely one guy's aggression. A lot of people can't handle Lineker's aggression and pressure. Ali, I will say this. I think if there's some trouble on the feet, I think he can get the takedown. And that's really why I'm going with Ali Bagautinov to win this one. Okay, next fight after that, we have Abel Killa Trujillo versus Jamie C4 Varner.
Ooh.
Who do you got, man? I'm curious.
I'm going to go with Jamie Varner on this one. He trains at MMA Lab, good boxing, good wrestling.
Former WEC lightweight champion as well.
Exactly. So I'm going to go with Jamie Varner. But I think it's going to be a great fight.
Yeah. It's funny. Abel Trujillo was actually supposed to fight Bobby Green. Jamie Varner took the fight on short notice. I like Varner. I mean, he came back to the UFC, got that upset TKO win over Edson Barboza. No one thought he was going to win. And has acquitted himself very well since coming back. Beat Melvin Gillard. Had a fight of the year candidate with Joe Lozon. Got a split decision loss to Gleison Tebow, which honestly isn't the worst thing to happen. Tebow's just that type of guy. But Abel Trujillo, good. Jamie Varner's a good test for Trujillo because Trujillo's a prospect, an 11-5 with an 11-5 record with 1 no contest. 4 wins by KO or TKO, 3 wins by sub. He also has 2 losses by sub. He's 30 years old, training at the Black Zillions. He's big for 155, got some heavy hands, some good stand-up. And despite getting taken down over and over again by Habib Nurmagomedov, he is a good wrestler. When he fought like Roger Bowling, that's the best I've ever seen the guy. He had more measured stand-up, better defense. showed good wrestling. I'll go with Abel Trujillo to win that one. Okay. On to the prelims. We have John the Bull Makdessi versus Alan Patrick. Actually, his name's longer. It's like Alan Patrick something Alves, Silva Alves or something like that. We'll just call him Alan Patrick because that's what they call him.
Let's just do that.
Yeah. Who do you got, my man?
I got John Makdessi. He's on a 3-fight win streak. Trains at TriStar. Good jab. Taekwondo style stand up. Uses spinning strikes. Yeah, that's what I got.
Cool. Yeah. I gotta agree with you. Yeah, John Makdessi. You know, like you mentioned, he does have a really good jab. But he's used it a lot against like Sam Stout, Darren Cruikshank, Taekwondo style stand. I'm seeing him do like spinning back fist and KO people spinning back fist. Different kicks. He uses like a side kick and whatnot as well as a normal part of his arsenal. Alan Patrick, he's a guy who trains at X Gym, 11-0 undefeated, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 2 wins by sub, 30 years old. Stand-up's pretty good. He's still a bit sloppy, very raw too. Honestly, considering that who's Makdessi's beaten, I kind of actually feel this is kind of a step down for Makdessi. Easily going with John Makdessi to win this one. Okay, next right after that, Chris Cariaso fights Koichi Horiguchi. I like Chris Cariaso a lot, but I gotta go with Kyoji Horiguchi. Who do you got, my man?
I got Chris Cariaso. He's good at Muay Thai. He's good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah, I just think he's got what it takes.
Yeah, he's had good fights against like Michael McDonald, Takeo Mizugaki. Just beat Iliard Santos in his last bout. Solid fighter with a 15-5 record. 32 years old. Interesting to know about the ages though. Cariaso's 32. Horiguchi's only 23 with a 12-1 record, 8 wins by KO or TKO, 1 win by sub on a 6-fight win streak. He most recently knocked out Dustin Pegg in his last fight in the UFC. I thought he was a UFC newcomer with all these like new signings and whatnot, but it's like, oh yeah, he did have a fight in the UFC. His stand-up's solid. He's got some pretty heavy hands, actually. I gotta go with Kyoji Horiguchi to win this one. Okay, next fight after that, we have Nick Catone versus Tom Watson. You know what? I think this is a striker versus grappler match. Who do you got here, man?
I got Nick Catone. He's on a 2-fight losing streak, but he's a good wrestler, and I just think that he's gonna be able to break that losing streak.
Yeah, stylistically, Tom Watson does have problems with grapplers. He most recently lost to Talis Lates. Also had a tough time with JT Money. Jesse Taylor. So, the Catone's that, mainly his stamp's all right, but it's wrestling mainly his wrestling that's pretty good. He has some good Brazilian jiu-jitsu as well. But Watson, 16-6 record, 8 wins by KO or TKO, 1 win by sub. Has his 2 losses by sub. He's 31 years old, training out of Jackson's. He's a brawler with heavy hands, a good chin. He is improving grappling, but it's still the weakest part of his game. His submission defense is getting a lot better. Stylistically, it actually favors Catone, but I'm going to go with Watson. I think he can win the stand-up exchanges. Maybe even tire Catone out. I'll go with Watson to win this one. So, who's fighting next, my man?
Iaquinta versus Kevin Lee.
Cool.
I got Kevin Lee. He's got an undefeated record. 3 subs, 3 decisions. His first fight in the UFC, so it's going to be interesting to see how he performs. Yeah, Kevin Lee. You said 3 subs, man. That indicates to me that he's got some pretty good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, probably. Iaquinta, though, 7-2 record with 1 draw. 3 wins by KO or TKO, 1 win by sub. He also has 2 losses by submission. He's 26 years old on a 2-fight win streak, training out of Cerro Longo. He has some good boxing, good wrestling, and good takedown defense as well. I gotta go with Iaquinta. I think he's really righted the ship after his loss to Michael Chiesa.
beating Ryan Couture and a good prospect in Piotr Hallman. Okay, on to the prelim card that can only be seen if you have the UFC Fight Pass. We have UFC newcomer Andy Enns versus Clint Hester. Who do you got, my man?
I have no idea who these guys are, but I'm going to go with Andy Enns.
Undefeated, right?
Yeah, undefeated record. I mean, yeah, we'll find out. He's got good Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but this is his first fight in the UFC, so, anything can happen.
Yep. Yeah, Andy Enns, 7-0, undefeated record, 5 wins by sub, 2 wins by decision, only 22 years old. It is his first fight in the UFC. Clint Hester, 9-3 record, 7 wins by KO or TKO, 1 submission win by strikes. He also has 2 losses by sub. 27 years old on a 5-fight win streak. Stand-up is solid. I mean, he won one of his fights against Bristol Marunde by a standing elbow. That was pretty cool. His grappling is improving, but it's still a very weak part of his game. It's considering that the ground is his weakest part. Enns could win that way, but I'll go with Clint Hester. He's got some momentum going on. Interesting prospect. Could turn out to be something good. Could turn out to be like a total mid-tier guy. Tough to say, but I'll go with Hester to win this one. Okay, next right after that, we got 2 UFC newcomers. It's Tony Martin fights Rashid Magomedov. I've seen Magomedov in the M1 Challenge. He has a 15-1 record with 7 wins by KO or TKO, 1 win by sub. 29 years old, 8-fight win streak, first fight in the UFC. I'll go with Magomedov to win this one. Who do you got, man?
I'm going with Tony Martin. He's undefeated. Got good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. His first fight in the UFC, so we'll find out what's going on with him.
Yeah, 8-0 undefeated record, 6 wins by sub, 2 wins by decision. Yeah. So, but yeah, you got Martin. I got Magomedov. And finally, we have Neil Magny versus UFC comer Gasan Umalatov. I'll go with Gasan Umalatov. He has a 14-2 record with 1 draw. 2 wins by KO or TKO, 7 wins by sub. He's 31 years old. Trained out a Fight Nights team, so that really tells me if you're training with guys like Ali Bagautinov there and Vitaly Minakov, pretty good training partners. I should have done more research. I gotta wonder if he's got some sort of Sambo background or something. Even though it is his first fight in the UFC, I'll go with Gasan Umalatov to win that one. Who do you got?
I got Neil Magny. Trains at Grudge on a 2-fight losing streak, but hopefully he can break that streak.
Yeah, Neil Magny, 8-3 record, 2 wins by KO or TKO, 2 wins by sub. Has 2 losses by sub, 26 years old on a 2-fight losing streak. He's a guy that's honestly been relatively unimpressive in the UFC. I mean, he beat John Manley, lost to Sergio Moraes, lost to Seth Baczynski. But we'll see if he can right the ship, like you said. Why don't we do a recap, man?
Let's do that.
Okay, on the main card, we have Dominic Cruz versus Renan Barao. I got Renan Barao.
I got Renan Barao.
Okay, Jose Aldo fights Ricardo Lamas. I got Jose Aldo.
I've got Jose Aldo.
Okay, Alistair Overeem fights Frank Mir. I got Alistair Overeem.
I got Frank Mir.
Okay, John Lineker fights Ali Bagautinov. I got Ali Bagautinov.
I got John Lineker.
Okay. Then we got Abel Trujillo versus Jamie Varner. I think Abel Trujillo pulls this off. Who do you got?
I've got Jamie Varner.
Okay. On the prelims, it's all been FS1. John Makdessi fights Alan Patrick. I got John Makdessi.
I've got John Makdessi.
Okay. Chris Cariaso fights Kyoji Horiguchi. I got Horiguchi.
I've got Chris Cariaso.
Okay. Nick Catone fights Tom Watson. I got Tom Watson.
I've got Nick Catone.
Okay. Al Iaquinta versus Kevin Lee. I got Al Iaquinta.
Got Kevin Lee.
Okay. On the prelims, it's going to be watched through the UFC Fight Pass. Clint Hester fights Andy Enns. I'll go with Clint Hester.
I've got Andy Enns.
Okay. Tony Martin fights Rashid Magomedov. I have Rashid Magomedov.
I've got Tony Martin.
And finally, Neil Magny fights Gasan Umalatov. I got Gasan Umalatov.
I've got Neil Magny.
Cool. So that's pretty much it for our predictions for UFC 169, Cruz versus Barao. If you have any comments, just leave them below. You got any final words, my man?
It's the end of the year. So, hopefully 2014 will be a good year. And just be safe out there. If you're going to drink and drive, make sure you get a ride home or whatever. Mm-hmm. But, yeah.
Especially if you go to Q's Lounge.
Yeah, if you go to Q's Lounge, then you're awesome, I guess.
Do they got a crazy New Year thing going on?
They got a crazy New Year's thing going on.
Okay,
so, cool. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Okay, well, that's pretty much it for MMA for you. Thank you guys very much, and have a happy New Year.